What's going on, everybody out there? Welcome, welcome, welcome. How's everybody doing out there?
What's up, everybody?
So hopefully we'll get a lot of people come in, and we have with us tonight Mr. Nick Freeman. How you doing tonight, sir?
Good. How about you, buddy?
I'm doing pretty good. Doing good. Just wanted to say thank you, for joining us tonight to kind of get in-depth review about, who you are, what you're about, and what your future plans with the sport. So we'll just go ahead and dive on in, kind of see how everybody's doing.
Hey, Mike.
Yes.
You have a little bit of feedback on yours. Do you have all the volumes down on the other one and everything else?
Yeah, everything's supposed to be turned down.
Double check on your settings and see if you're because you're getting it ain't on Nick, it's just on you.
Okay.
You have a little bit of an echo.
All right. Give us a moment, people. Sorry about the delay. Let's see here.
I think Nick set us up.
Man, I had all sorts of trouble trying to get on this thing.
You got the noise cancellation off on yours, Mike?
Yeah. Or at least I thought I did.
It needs to be on.
All right. Let me see what happens here.
So I can still hear this. Try it now.
Better?
No.
How about now?
It sounds better, but like I said, it sounds like there's another device on or something. Mute your other device.
They are. The laptop is turned on. It's because I have the echo cancellation and noise suppression on.
Okay, well that should be good. And you're only in on one, right?
That is correct.
Okay. Let's try and see.
Unless the only thing I can think of is maybe there's a back echo off of Nick's device if he's laying he's up against something that's creating a back echo.
I do have my tablet leaned up against like a tripod. I mean, I can move it and we can try it if you want.
Hey, Nick, do you have two devices going right now?
No, I actually just turned off the one on my phone just in case.
Okay. I don't know. That's weird, man.
Yeah, it's because when we hear it, I can hear sound off of Nick's.
Tell you what, hang on. I'll tell you who it is real quick.
All right.
Talk.
Hey.
It's Nick.
Of course.
Hey, look at Nick, look in your thing and make sure your noise cancellation is off. On. I keep saying off, but make sure it's on. What's up, everybody?
Sorry about this, guys.
That's all right.
Hey, this is Nick's first time on. How would Bill know? All right, you got noise cancellation on or off?
For noise suppression, it won't let me actually click anything.
Really?
Yeah.
You might have to come out and come back in, Nick.
Okay, give me just 1 minute. Sorry about this, guys.
Oh man, don't be sorry about it. This is what makes it
Live.
All right, I'll be right back.
All right.
Anyway, guys, again, thank you for joining in. We are going to have a little quick interview with Nick Freeman from the North Georgia Nprc group, which I am also a part of that as well. So as you can tell, we're experiencing some audio difficulties, so just please bear with us. We'll get rock and roll as soon as we get this figured out. So I hope everybody's having a good evening. Let's see what everybody's saying. What's up, Caden?
Damn, Nick.
Happy birthday to you, sir. I don't know what's going on over on.
Hey, Nick.
Yes, sir.
Perfect.
Oh, that's much better.
That's on my cell phone now. Let me back out of here. Let me go back. Man, this is a nightmare.
That's all right. You'll go to sleep just as soon as we get done, unless
Yeah,
Chelsea
you're
wakes
not
up
lying.
with.
All right, sorry about that. All right. Whew.
All righty.
Now I know.
And knowing's out the battle.
Yeah. All right.
All right. Well, let's see. I wrote me a long list, so hopefully we'll get a lot of things covered. Again, there's a lot of things that want to ask questions. I know there's a lot of people out there who want to ask questions, and towards the end, we'll get into the famous Georgia versus South Carolina race. So, anyway, so I just want to go over a few moments, let everybody know what is it to be Nick Freeman. I mean, what is it when somebody thinks or hears or see you? What do you want people to know about you? I mean,
Ooh,
why don't you,
definitely
let everybody out there know who you are.
Well, I mean, it's really like I got into this hobby. I don't know. I think we got into what was it like 2020? It
Yeah.
was right when COVID kicked off. I think like right around that time frame. And if you would have asked me that question back then, I would have been like, I sure whatever. But seeing like how far everything's grown and like just the changes that everything's happened, with like cars and different electronics and tires. I mean, it's crazy how far people call it sport, hobby, whatever. I mean, I kind of call it a sport because I think it's reached that level. But like, I mean, there's a lot of different people that do this for different reasons. Yeah, of course, like we would all love to win money and go out there and just bring a wad of cash back home to our families and loved ones and whatever. But, the only way that this hobby sport is going to continue to keep going and growing and whatnot is if, we can do it for more reasons than just those. So like helping people, whether it be, getting them into the sport hobby, whatever, showing them what features do on a radio, like how to prep your tires. Like I actually enjoy all that stuff. And, I know a few people have, said that I've helped them out on different videos and, whatnot. And that's awesome. I mean, that's definitely what I do it for. But, that, and then obviously, I love being challenged and I love being pushed, with different competition. And there's a lot of fast guys around us, as you know. So just being able to stay on my toes and always be willing to change is just really fun for me. I want to pull my last few hairs out most days, but those 2 or 3 days that I get a couple good test sessions in and everything kind of works, you could say that it was worth it at the end of those days. So
Yeah. So, what got you in the MPRC? I mean, I know you stated earlier, COVID hit, and that's when we got taken off in the MPRC role. But what literally got you? What put your foot in the door to make you start doing this?
Well, like I said, it was around the same time COVID. COVID was just kicking off. I actually, unfortunately, lost my job. I was there for 5 or 6 years, and I had just got laid off. Um, in some relation to COVID, they were I'm not going to get into that, but things were changing, and I was going to have a little more free time, and there was a lot of unknowns when COVID kind of started, and drag racing has been around for a little bit longer than what we've been doing it, but obviously not near a level as now. So when COVID kind of happened and everything was up in the air, nobody really knew what was going on. first thing I did was when I was out of work for a little bit is I went to Hobbytown in Buford by the mall, and I picked up a boat, the Spartan boat Traxxas, and which that was a lot of money, by the way. That was a ton of money for someone that wasn't working full time. That was a lot of money to spend. And then I got a basic little slash 2-wheel drive car, man, and just I started tinkering with it, and one thing led to another, and you start inviting a friend or two out, and then you want to see, of course, who's the fastest, and then that's when the addiction started.
Well, that's good. I mean, who to think where you possibly be if it weren't for this sport. So, I mean, you got to, think about, there's a lot of good things that would happen that allowed you to start joining this sport hobby or whatever a lot of people may want to call it.
Yeah.
So recently, I've been told or have heard that you just recently, I say recently, just joined the team GFRP. So what's that like?
GFRP is awesome. Love them to death. I would try to turn my camera around because my car is sitting literally right here, but I would be afraid that this whole live stream would like wreck and fall in a million pieces. So just know the car is literally right here.
That's all right.
But GFRP is awesome, man. I've obviously been running their products for probably about a year and a half or so, probably right around there. And I think I actually had a 5.7 Aero, the OG Aero. And then I bought the update kit, the chassis and all that, the 22 Aero. And back when we first got into this, like the 5.7 design stuff, it was so new to me because it was on a different level than what I was used to. Like I was used to a plastic tub chassis, Traxxas slash, just you can go to all Lagzilla. You can get to Hobbytown and you can rebuild that car in 5 minutes because they had everything on the shelf. And like with the 5.7 design stuff, there wasn't as many people that had it. Obviously, parts you had to order everything because no dealers or places stocked them. So started off with the Aero, got really familiar with it, started learning how everything worked and how different it was, but kind of how similar it was in the same concept. And then of course that's when the OG Apollo kicked off and shut the internet down. Everybody, it was like crack. Everybody had to have some. And obviously I wanted to be a Me Tooer, so I jumped in line and got the first one that I could. And I never looked back, man. It's been such a blast. The car is like, I mean, once we're all going to struggle with trying to learn a car, whether anybody wants to admit it or not. But once you get that like sweet spot and you really figure out how everything works, it's such a great car. I'm actually building one for a customer right now. The guy that comes out and races with us. Getting it done right now. Should have it done hopefully tomorrow, maybe Saturday morning. But
or in 5 minutes.
What was that?
Or in 5 minutes.
Yeah, I had a thing I told yesterday, so I had to stop. But yeah, man, no, I mean, GFRP, it's not just a brand. Like it's definitely, it's. I don't want to be cliche and say like a lifestyle, but there's a lot of like awesome people and there's a lot of benefits of being on GFRP. Not just because awesome folks like Frank and Mark and all the other folks are on there, but every one of them brings something different to the table. And going to these big races, you really get to experience, just how unique everybody is, all the team drivers and just everybody in general that own one. Everybody's really nice and helpful, and it's just a great brand.
Yeah, that's good. Well, since we're on the subject of the GFRP, would you be willing to tell everybody out there, what's your setup on your car? I mean, I'm sure you don't want to give true small details, but I mean, if you're willing to, great. If not, if you're willing to tell everybody what your setup,
Can you guys see this?
yeah,
I'm gonna see how long this lasts for me holding this camera. So 23 Apollo, nothing crazy with it. I run R1 ESC, buckle up battery. I'm testing different motors right now. I haven't been set on anything. Sorry if it's a little blurry. I'm trying to get everything. I run bad racing wheels. Probably the best wheels I've ever put on this car. But you know, honestly, the cool thing about my car is you can go buy it from GFRP, and literally this is how I have my car. Like, there's nothing fancy, no fancy upgrades. The floating body mounts, I mean, literally that's it. There's no weight added. Everything you can buy at a store or online, and it's in my car.
that's good. And it's very rigid, very lightweight. So I've seen you made some passes where you may had some mishaps, but you know, fixing it and putting it back together in a very, what's the word I'm trying to think of? A very devastating wrecks that I've seen you do with that car. You're able to basically put it back together fairly easy, and things that you would think that would break on it didn't break because it holds up. So it's a very good product. So I'm assuming you would say the same.
Oh yeah. I think most of the time when people have, you know, big wrecks or whatever, obviously, you know, a weak point in kind of any car would be, you know, something in the front end, you know, bumper, or you know, like a front hub or A-arm or something like that. I actually, when I was testing the other night, at the race spot, I ended up, you know, I made a really good pass, and then the car, you know, it got real loose out there when I was braking. And of course, there's like 1,500 tractor trailers parked in the one night that I go up there, and the car slid under the truck and went into the tire. And me and Marcus had to, I mean, put the death grip on it to get it out from under this tire. And literally, the bumper was broken. It was cracked in 4 or 5 different pieces. And I picked it up, turned it off, came back to the pit. I took off the bumper. No, excuse me. I actually put a zip tie on the bumper to piece it together, literally like glue, and prepped my tires. Didn't even check to see if it was going straight still. Prepped my tires, turned it way up, and the next pass out, I ran a 1.6.
Wow.
And it was straight as an arrow. So
That's
it's
awesome.
it's a great car, man.
That's good. So, so what's it like going to some of these events? I know the most recent event that you've been to was Straight Line. How was that like?
Straight line was, I mean, that was probably my first big event. You know, I've been to a lot of the stuff with like South Carolina with Upstate, and you know, like their Super Nats, I think is what it is, and then a couple, you know, semi big events, but nothing national like you know, Straight Line. That was definitely something different. You know, you get to really, you know, see what your car's capable of. You get to meet a lot of people that you just talk to behind the internet, you know, so that's cool, putting a lot of faces with names. But just seeing all the stuff that you only see on the internet is just really cool. And, you know, I think a lot of people can agree when I say that, excuse me, when we were up there, you know, there was a lot of internet beef and internet yada yada yada. And I know Rich and Val have said this. I know a lot of other people have said this. But when there was all that craziness going on online, if you just put your phone down and you went to the racetrack, there was none of it going on. Like, all that stuff stays on the internet, from what I saw. You know, of course, that's not the case everywhere, but you know, 9 out of 10 times when you walk to the line, all you saw was people just laughing and just having a great time. some of us were complaining about, getting sunburn and stuff because the lines, whatever. But that's just part of it. I mean, if a sunburn is the worst thing that happens to me all weekend, bring it,
So,
So
what
it
was
was
like
really
to
good.
meet some drivers out there that you've only heard or seen pictures of or videos on the net,
Mhm.
and be able to possibly meet them in person, whether if it was straight line or any other past events that you've been to? What are the, those moments that, like, man, I'm so happy to be in this hobby because of these certain types of people. So what was that for you?
Well, a lot of those folks, um, I guess you can call them role models or, people that we all look up to. Um, a lot of those people are on Team GFRP. So, when me and Vince and Jamie all went up there together and my wife, um, we all got to pit all together, so I was pitting with, Chris Dillon, Shorts, Vine, Frank, Lindsay. I mean, all of them. Chris Sanchez, Jeff Zuccarello was right behind us. So all the big names, all the big dogs, you get to see everybody's process, and it was just a really unique experience. And you don't want to be like fanboyish, and go up and bother them and whatnot. But getting to just chit chat a little bit here and there without kind of interrupting their process was pretty cool. Um, and then getting the chance to actually work with them, with different tunes and trying different stuff when we were up there. It was pretty cool.
What is your most memorable from past events, or could be local events?
Uh, let's see. Well, straight line was definitely up there, just because I've never really been out of the Southeast. I mean, I've never been on an airplane, believe it or not. I've always driven everywhere. I know it's crazy.
Hey,
Um,
sometimes you just got to do it.
but I mean, any probably any moment at straight line was up there in my favorite. Definitely running my personal best up there was probably one of my top favorite moments. Um, and then, all the stuff that we do here, there's a lot of people that have never even heard of our group, our local group. But, getting to have somebody come out that has never been in MPRC, never done it before, and, getting to watch their faces while we make a pass and they're just like they're a little kid on Christmas morning and they just never seen anything as cool as it,
Yeah,
and then having them come out the next race and they have their own car, that's pretty cool.
that is cool. So, you know, you said about our group. What do you like about being part of the North Georgia MPRC?
Nothing. I'm just kidding. Um,
No, I'm just kidding.
no, our group has definitely grown a lot over, I mean, like I said, I think I started that group, like, I don't know, it was around the same time, like when COVID and all that stuff. It was 2020. Um, and it just like it jumped off pretty quick. I think Tim Truex, he had a group. He was the first one, I think, in our area to have like a no prep group. Um, but I think I just spent just a little more time with it because I think I just had a little more time. It wasn't, anything to do with, he didn't race, blah, blah, blah. But, um, it's just cool, seeing how far that it's actually come.
I think Tim's on here saying I think he likes me for my body.
Yeah, I can't see the comments or else this live would shut down. So,
what other drivers inspire you or you look up to that that motivates you to keep getting better and faster and learn more about your setup?
well, let's see. When we did our list racing, it wasn't as big, as what the group has, turned into now. But back then, when we were all starting, most of the same people that were in it back then are still I guess you can call it top dogs around, our area or whatever. But, people like Ryan Clay, he's a hell of a competitor, super fast. I don't have to convince anybody that. I mean, everybody knows, Marcus, he's quick, he's super quick. And then, obviously guys like, Bisquick, Trash Money, like all those guys. I follow all those guys. And so getting to kind of see where I was at before, because I know the fast guys always stay fast, so to speak. But getting to see where I was before versus like where I am now, just really putting forth the effort and the work and stuff, and then seeing all those other same guys doing the same thing and watching us all get faster together. It's like I'll post a GNSS time, and then it's like you see the other people in your area. It's like, oh, well, now they just got just as fast or faster, so it pushes each other to, go back out and test 2 more days and try to break that person's record. You know what I mean? So it's definitely fun. It's definitely a fun challenge staying on your toes around these guys.
Oh yeah, it's because our previous track record was held by Tommy, which was a 1.7, and you just recently finally broke that record with a 1.69. So you are currently our new track record. So I applaud you because you put in the work and you know how to do it. So
Appreciate it.
That is really awesome. I wish I was there to witness that because I would probably be jumping up and down for joy. But I'm just saying. Because I know what it's like to finally break your personal record, because you are one of them that's helped me get there with Lagzilla. I mean, I've been struggling with 2.3s, finally getting down to 2.2s, then finally 2.18s and 2.15s. I was like, I thought I was on cloud 9.
Oh,
And then
no.
recently, just now, finally breaking a 2.05 in a stock tub DR10.
Yeah.
With your help, that I don't even know what I did. I don't know if I did flip flops. I don't know what I did. I was stoked that day.
Whatever you did, don't touch it. Just leave it alone and do it again. Don't touch it.
Yep. So I went through the transmission with it and redid all the bearings and everything. Got my new gears. They finally came in today. So I'm off this weekend. So maybe we can do some test and tuning depending on weather. But speaking of racing, let's go ahead and cut to the chase and let's talk about the famous Georgia versus South Carolina race.
Oh, boy.
Yes, there it is. We are going to have it on October the 22nd. It will be located in Georgia, in Buford, at our kind of our local track. But I'm going to open the table up to Nick, and if you want to let everybody know about it, if there's anything I can fill you in, I'll let you know. But other than that, you pretty much been doing a lot of work on it, which again I appreciate it for everything. So floor is yours. Go ahead and tell everybody.
There's I'm sure there's going to be, minor little tweaks here and there. Me and, you and the locals, Jamie and Vince and whatnot, we've all talked about it a lot. The idea has obviously floated around for forever. I mean, I think everybody has wanted to see that race for a while. And now that, I feel like both groups are at I'm not going to say top of their level, but we're both no slouches at all. There's fast guys from each side, and I know Vince had talked to Tommy about it, and then you talked to Tommy about it, and all of a sudden, boom, we got a race. So the format, like I said, will there's a couple I's and T's that need to be worked out. But basically, I think what we're trying to do, we want to actually keep it Georgia versus South Carolina. So we're coming up with a method to where, maybe a member from each side draws a tip. Let's say there's 10 people from each side, which, hopefully there's a lot more. So 10 people come in. Okay, you got Georgia here, South Carolina here. 1 through 10, Georgia draws. 1 through 10, South Carolina draws. those are your matchups right there. Obviously, there's going to be folks from out of state, the North Carolina, Alabama, all the other surrounding states, Florida, Tennessee. We welcome everybody. And just to keep things fair for those folks, how that's going to work out is so let's say you're from North Carolina. And okay, so let's say we got everybody's numbers and names and whatnot, and let's say we have 40 people, and 20 or 15 are on each side, so that's 30. So then 10 people, the 10 guests, will each draw, let's say, like a red or a blue chip, just random idea. And let's say red is South Carolina, blue is Georgia. Basically, you're going to draw a random chip draw just to keep things fair. This is 2022. People get in their feelings a lot, and we want to just avoid any areas that can go down that path. So we came up with that idea. I think it's a pretty fair idea. It will be even for sure. If for some reason it's not going to be even, we will make it right to where everybody's happy, guaranteed. There will be a track mate timing system. Track fee is $20, if I'm not mistaken, $20. So you can come up, everybody will be able to see what they can actually run, on an actual legitimate tree, 66-foot sensors, speed trap, everything. It's going to be a really awesome race for sure, and it's going to happen at a time of the year where you're not going to get that super humid mid-afternoon, just sweaty, nasty. It'll be October, which you're in Georgia, so I guess you still could have those hot, muggy afternoons, but let's pray to the weather gods that doesn't happen.
Yeah.
But it'll be a really good time. There's a lot of fast folks from South Carolina and other states coming, and we're all just super excited to run this race. It's going to be a great time.
Yeah, it's going to be $30 entry. We will have offer double entries, so that way you can last a little bit longer in the race. So I'll probably be glad to have that option out for everybody. Of course, I think way we're doing the money. Have you already consolidated how we want to disperse the money?
Yeah, and sorry, I just got caught rambling. You have to just tell me to shut up sometimes. So what we decided to do was first and second, there was going to be 80-20 split if everybody was cool with that. And then third and fourth, which are your semifinalists, they would split the buybacks. That way, they'll probably get equal amount of money. That's pretty much how that's going to work out. That's fair because they both placed, the same position basically. And then first and second, like I said, we'll split the actual winning pot of 80-20. Obviously 80 to first, 20 second. So.
Okay. But yeah, we're looking forward to having everybody out there. I know it's going to be our first big event, and we want to thank everybody in our group that's came up with that idea. I know Vince and Jamie came up with it as well. I also want to thank Tommy Burgess for coming along on board with him and his group from the upstate. So battle the states. I think it's going to be a blast. I can't wait. I don't know what else. I'm already stoked for it. We're still in the middle of processes of trying to get things put together, but I am ready to go. And man, it's gonna be fun. So yeah, check it out. It's join us on our Facebook group, North Georgia MPRC. We'll pretty much list a lot of information on there along with Upstate. We'll be sharing the information with them, so they'll be posting up a lot. So yeah, come check that out. Plus also next Saturday, September 3rd is our 6th and finale point series race for the NPRC point series race. And we will love to have as many people come out because if I remember, Nick, we're doing raffling and we got a lot of sponsors coming on board for this last race. And I think we're going to have a lot of fun.
Oh yeah. And can't give out too many details here, but let's just say that there's a lot of awesome things happening at that race. We're gonna do a lot of selfless things at that race. There's gonna be a lot of happy moments there. Let's just say that, and I'm really stoked for the Webbs to be able to join us. You know, I think they're still on board with that, unless something's changed. I think everything's still good, but we're definitely happy to have them come. It's going to be a really awesome time for sure.
Oh yeah, and I want to quickly just take a brief second, just basically thank everybody that's going to partake in that race, sponsor wise, like Team GFRP. I know you talked to them; they're going to help out with some products. I want to say 5-Star is going to come out with some products, and I want to thank them as well. Nick Bell Racing, everybody knows Nick Bell. He's going to come out, believe it or not, to race with us. And I believe he's also going to donate some products to hand out as well. I know there's other Caldwell Raceworks with awesome wings. He's going to be giving out a winner a wing and splitter for the choice of their car.
Okay.
Also trying to see, I know there's more that I'm missing. All Pro
Yeah.
RC, they're on board as well. Who else am I missing?
If I'm not mistaken, BBM Performance, Mike and Donnie. If I'm not mistaken, correct me if I'm wrong, Mike, if you're watching. I think he said he wanted to do a body or two. I don't know if he said two. I'm sorry if I'm wrong. And then maybe like some tire prep and stuff like that. So that should all still be good. And if Nick and Tommy are coming, then maybe if Mike isn't able to come, which we would obviously love for him to be able to come, then if he's still on board with that, then he can just give that to them so we can avoid shipping and all that. But yeah, thank you guys for everybody for donating. It's really going to be an awesome time, and I'm really looking forward to it. A lot of fast cars going to be at this race. I'm really wanting to win the overall, but man, it's going to be anybody's race because there's not one person that's somebody you can just go up to the line and say, "Oh, this is going to be an easy win." No, no, not at all.
You definitely ain't lying about that because, for the longest time, I've never beaten you except that one time at our last point series race. I finally won against you, and yeah, anything can happen on the streets or at the track, whatever you want to call it. And it's a blast, whether if it's a win or lose, because you're out there having a good time and having a blast, and it's great. So yeah, I know top of my head, at least the top 14 are wanting that top 5 so bad. I mean, they can taste it.
And the top 10, well, the top, like, I think it's like from 4 or 5, because I'm pretty sure Ryan's like 3rd or 4th. So it's like a little bit after him, they're within like 2 points of each other. So
yeah, it's real tight. So it can be, yeah, it can still be anybody. So if we have any tiebreakers, we already know how to deal with that and everything. But yeah, it's going to be a fun race. Yeah. So let's see.
Yeah, I can't see the questions because it's kind of small on my screen, so you have to help me out with that.
Yeah, I was going to let everybody go ahead and start coming in with some questions while I was going to get ready to ask you some questions real quick. So if anybody has any questions, please put them on, and I'll try to relay it to him since I think he can't see it quite often. So Nick, real quick, what is your tips for people that are wanting to get into sport/hobby or is in it but wants to learn more? What are you there to offer their tips for? I mean, what would you like to tell those newcomers about our sport?
I think Mark Vine said it the other day. Stay off the internet. I'm pretty sure he said that, if I'm not mistaken. There's a lot of great stuff on the internet at times. I mean, everybody can learn something. But there's also a lot of false information, and there's also a lot of drama, which is going to destroy anything hobby related at all. I would probably tell them to just put their phone down, go to their local scene, hang out with those local racers, and ask questions. Just ask all the questions that you can, soak it in like a sponge, and just don't be afraid of failure, because everybody, not just some, everybody that has gone to a higher level in this racing has failed at least a dozen times before they've gotten there. So failure is just part of it, and the more you just ask questions and study and just do your research, you'll get there eventually. It might be a slower process, but have as much fun as you can on the way, however, which way you want to go, however you want to stop. If you want to stop at like a 2.5 second cart and just have fun, have all the fun you want. If you want to push your limits and pull your hair out like I'm doing every week and buying a battery every third Thursday, then good luck. You know what I mean? But, yeah.
So, can anybody just come to you for some help or advice or anything like that? I mean, what can they do to, a lot of, there's a lot of people that everybody wants to be able to get in contact with, trying to get some help depending on manufacturers and whatnot. But, what do they need to do to get hold of you for some help?
Yeah, no problem. So I'm a Team GFRP driver, and, to me, that doesn't matter, because I'm not like, if I don't want to say the wrong words, but let's say somebody from like a different manufacturer or company comes up to me and they say, "Hey man, can you just give me a tip on this or whatever?" By me being a driver, like, that doesn't mean anything to me. Yeah, like, my loyalty is with this brand, but just for me giving this person advice, like, that's not a bad thing for me. So I'm going to help whoever I can. Now, if this person, let's say a person from 5-Star or somebody else comes up to me and says, "Hey man, can you give me your exact tune to run this thing?" No, you know what I mean? Like, there's some boundaries. But you need,
come on now.
You need set up questions or, whatever. You can Facebook me. I think the webs have my number. If you would rather text or whatever, you can do that. I'm not going to just post it in the comments, but you can get a hold of me on Facebook. You can send me a message or whatnot, and then I can shoot you a message back. If I don't get back to you right away, don't get in your feelings. I don't see my phone, and my phone all of a sudden reads messages that I've never even opened before my entire life. And, then I see it 4 days later. So just be patient. I'll definitely help you out. I don't mind at all. Yeah.
Yeah. We have Luke McBee says, "Nick has helped me out so much. Cool dude. Thanks a lot, Nick." So I appreciate that. Then we got somebody says, "PM me your tune." I think I know who that is. And then somebody says, "Arm wrestle for the tiebreaker if there is one."
Shit, I'm out. I'm not strong. I'm out. I'm out.
Cornelius, to answer your question, which is for the South Carolina, Georgia event, will there be practice on Friday? Where we race at, it's pretty open. So yes, you are more than welcome to come out. Nick will probably be there. Maybe myself will probably be there as well. But yeah, it's the place where we race at is really relaxed. It's pretty chill. We pretty much go up there at least, what do you say, about 3 times a week, give or take, depending on weather.
Probably 5.
Okay, well, for Nick, it's 16 times out of the week. So, but yeah, it's you're more. So yeah, you're more than welcome to go up there and practice on Friday. If you're coming in for the weekend, if you're looking for hotels and restaurants, there is a lot of places to choose from. That's right there off of Buford Drive. So just kind of look that up on Google Maps or whatnot. And it's because I can't honestly tell you which one's the best restaurant or the best anything.
And we'll probably post a more like concrete layout. Probably what I think we're like 2 months away, if I'm not mistaken, somewhere right around 2 months, maybe just under that. So when we're about a month out, we'll start getting a little more Facebook, daily type of thing with posts and get some stuff ironed out. But yeah, there'll definitely be some time to practice the night before and the day of. We'll give you guys plenty of time to practice. That's not an issue. We want to make sure everybody's comfortable and got their cars at their best potential. So not a problem.
Yeah, we'll definitely, we're usually pretty good about looking out for everybody, make sure that everybody's got a chance to get their cars dialed in on the surface. We want to make sure that everybody has the same equal amount of time to practice. But yeah, it's a good track. As you can tell, we've got a bunch of fast guys that's raced on this track, and they've said it's probably one of the best track to race on. So, the more people, the merrier, and hopefully we can be able to spread that word out. That our area is a really good place to race at, and the greatest people. So, to answer your question, Facebook user, yes, we have really good lighting. It's not stadium lighting, but it's really good lighting. So you can be able to see your car very well.
Yeah, it's on both sides.
Yeah, it's on both sides. You got the dock lights and the stand-up parking lights, which are all bright LEDs. So yeah, you'll be able to see your car from a mile if you have good vision, of course. Let's see.
So I'm talking to Chelsea.
Oh yeah, she's helped you out quite a bit. How you doing, Chelsea? Say hi to everybody out there. This woman right here, I'm going to tell you right now, this woman will help Nick in a heartbeat. She's probably the best person to come out. She's also helped us out. She's definitely helped us out a lot, for our racing events. So I do want to shout out to Chels. Thank you, Chels, for what you do. But yeah, that you can't say a whole lot that ain't gonna take but 5 minutes, which is honestly a lie. Which Chelsea's been there with you for thick and thin. So
yes, she has.
So I don't want to put you in the doghouse. So I'm going to try to say things for you.
Well, I can't turn on so y'all could see his face. He's like, no.
In the dark.
Let's see. Well, since we're getting down to closing time, real quick, Nick. I usually try to ask this with anybody I try to interview, whether if it's just a race winner or just somebody that we want to catch up with to see how things are going. If you could race anybody, who would it be and why?
Ooh. Like at a big race or here in my home track?
Don't matter.
Ooh. I mean, I think everybody wants to race the fastest person or, fastest people in any type of racing. And I think everybody knows kind of who that is right now, or at least in my opinion, between Frank and Lindsay. I would love to race either of them just as like a friendly grudge race and, just see how I stack up. It might be a Greyhound bus gap in between both of our cars, or it might be a photo finish. You never know. But they're great competitors, and one thing you can count on is you'll definitely get a good race anytime you line up with them. So
yeah, I mean they are definitely both fast, and I definitely applaud them for how much work they put in and to get to that point. So again, you're doing the exact same thing. Huh?
Yeah, I mean I watched it firsthand in Wisconsin, and the work that their team puts in. We're all on GFRP, but just those two specifically, it's definitely on another level, so to speak. It's awesome to witness that.
Yep. Well, you want to give any shout outs to anybody real quick before we end our evening?
Yeah, I mean, I want to thank you, for interviewing me and asking all the questions, taking time out of your day. I want to thank everybody. I didn't get a chance to actually see all the comments and questions and whatever, so apologize for that. But thanks everybody that did tune in. I was real minimized with what I could see and read and whatnot. But thank the Webbs, Rich and Val, for letting me do this. My family, my wife, like everybody. I mean, I really have a great support system, so I'm really thankful for everybody, and really looking forward to seeing everybody's progress at these upcoming races and getting to hopefully go to the Clash of the Titans. That's going to be a game changer for sure. So I can't wait to see who all makes it down there. Definitely.
Yes, most definitely. Let's see. We had somebody that says race Skittles again.
Oh yeah, I would love to race Skittles. She's a fierce competitor. Her and her dad are awesome. They're super fast, and I was definitely sweating that race, and I had a couple bugs to work out, and there was no excuse. She just ran out of my life. So I would definitely love to rematch that one.
Yeah, I think I was watching that live, and that was a really good race. So
I ran like a 172 or 172, and it was embarrassing. So she put one on me.
all right, well, everybody, I want to say thank you for taking time out of your evening just to be able to watch, this show, be able to talk with Nick Freeman. Again, thanks for being able to take time out of your day to sit here and talking with an old hag about some RC toys.
Yeah, I appreciate everything, guys.
So everybody out there, please get a hold of my YouTube channel at Lagzilla RC. I usually post up a lot of live events that we normally do at our events. Subscribe, like, comment, whatever you like. I'd greatly appreciate it. Thanks to Webbs for allowing us to put this show on and for helping me to make this possible. Without them, I think we'll still be asking Nick how to go fast. But yeah, also, again, check up on the updates on the big race for the Georgia South Carolina race event on Upstate's page and the North Georgia page. So again, thank you, everybody. I hope you all had a good evening. Again, thanks, Nick. Webbs, thank you so much.
Appreciate it, guys.
All righty. Well, everybody, you have a good night. Keep it in between the lines. Have some fun and go fast. Y'all have a good night now.